Steiny Guru on 95.7 The Game.
From the Xfinity mobile text line, it's game day. Mood seems flat. Yeah, you know why? Because you guys are tight. Because it's an elimination game. See, there's a psychology about these games, too. You want to get all wound up. But you also realize that you're one game away from the season ending. So it's not like Game 6 last year when the Kings came into Chase Center and you could eliminate them. You knew you had a game to play with. It's like tonight. If the Warriors get up 22-15, crowd gets a little tight. They're not as loud. They're not as enthusiastic. They get nervous. It's like what the Kings fans want tonight is their team to get up 30-18, start making threes. See, then you can go nuts because you're up 12, you got wiggle room.
Well,
but it's an elimination game, Goo. So anytime there's an elimination game, fans are going to be tight. I get it. I can't expect Warrior fans to be out of their mind enthusiastic tonight because it's an elimination game. You get a little tight.
Well, they need glasses, and just run back to Javi call.
It's understandable.
We brought the Thunder, so it ain't flat. Nothing flat about the show early.
But you're nervous.
I'm not. I'm overly confident.
Okay.
I called myself your old partner yesterday, did I not? OC, overly confident.
But I can feel your nerves. No, I can. And it's masquerading as bravado.
But Steiny sack is not healthy,
no, that's
man.
what. And listen, that's again days like today. I kind of am glad I'm not a fan because I'd be really nervous. You'd have to be, even if you were 12-point favorites tonight.
The 3 Warriors went up to 3.
I saw 2.5.
Yeah, I got it at 3.
Okay,
this morning.
Real quick, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but just. I'm going to go through 7 players here, essentially.
And real quick,
just give me the grade.
We didn't do this well yesterday. Super chats. Now, real quick, $1.99 back from being blocked. Trade Kuminga, make the team better. That's worth about $1.99. But go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Just give me grades, and I don't want you to. Yeah, just kind of first thought for the season. Steph Curry.
B.
Klay Thompson.
B+.
Wiggins.
B-. You know what? C+.
Kuminga.
A-.
Draymond Green.
I would give him an A, but B- because you got suspended, so B-.
Chris Paul.
A-.
Podziemski and Trace Jackson Davis.
Both A-.
Okay, so I'm looking at this team, and I see 3 A- from their top rotation players, a B+, a B, a C+, and B-. Why are we so disappointed in the season? If you're telling me that there's nobody on the team worse than a C+, Curry B, Draymond B-, Klay B+. That means the big 3 averages a solid B, Wiggins a C+, and then Kuminga, Chris Paul the third, and Podziemski and Trace Jackson Davis. All A-. And that's kind of what I want to get at.
Well, we can't. You didn't give me a grade for the 25 games.
But why is everybody disappointed?
Because you're playing a game tonight. If you lose, you go home.
Okay, so that tells me that we have a team where most of their players had pretty good years. So why was the year so disappointing? If you're telling me that the big 3's average grade was a B, and then Kuminga, Chris Paul III, the 2 rookies all get A-, and then Wiggins gets a C+. Those are pretty good years. I don't see a D on any of those years.
Well, a lot of people are coming at me because I didn't give Dre a D, but I can differentiate the play on the field, the court for Dre, and him not being available. So, there it lies for me. I hate to be redundant, Steiny. The bottom line is this team's in the 10th seed, but had that suspension not happened, they would have a series, I believe. And I don't think that's – so I don't know how to quantify that.
You know what?
I don't know how to really say – but, that's – I hope that don't sound soft.
No, I'm going to do this, though. I'm going to bring it this way. You know what? If Draymond doesn't get suspended, maybe you're right where you're at now.
I don't believe you believe that.
I do believe. Well, then Trace Jackson Davis maybe would not have emerged. And they would not have found the lineup that is working best for them right now.
That's a hell of a pull. But I just firmly believe if you let me go at the low end of the spectrum, 5 wins, we're talking about,
Okay. So,
and I guess that's why
well, then let's not be disappointed. This team, when they played, reached their potential. And I don't understand. Like, if this is all good enough, then how much better should they really be?
Manu 100 holds. Steiny would like to know your grades, if you can run through them, of what I just did. Like, what would you give Wiggins?
He would get a C minus.
How about Steph?
He'd get a B minus.
Clay?
He'd get a B.
Kuminga?
He'd get a B.
So no A's yet. Dre?
He'd get a C.
CP3?
He'd get a B.
Clay?
I gave him a B.
Okay.
And then the rookies, I'd give an A.
Okay, all right, there you go, 2A. And
because I don't,
GP3.
I don't.
GP2.
He doesn't matter.
That's
Chris
so
Paul the set doesn't matter. I mean, who cares? He gets a C. He's missed half the year, right? I don't know.
No, but that's what you're basing it on. I got you.
But what I'm saying is, I think this team is closer to where it is than apparently a lot of other people think.
Even with the,
I don't believe it's a 50-win team with or without.
Wow, Steiny. Yeah, I think you're like Gilligan.
Okay.
Well,
then.
But you might not be alone.
Keep it together.
Well, that may be on the table.
Maybe. Let's go to Robin in San Francisco. Hey, Robin.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah. That's
hey,
Robin.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hey.
How y'all doing? I'll buy me some coffee. Hey, listen. I want to say this. I don't know who's going to win tonight because one thing I know that has been consistent about the Warriors, I don't care what they're doing now, is one thing that's been consistent is that they have been inconsistent, okay? So when they play, they just, you just hope for the best. That's what my daddy used to say. But then there is no hope either. So I think they're going to have to play good. And I don't know if there's an X factor, but I just think that they can beat themselves by being sloppy, by not defending, and all these other things. So I really called to say this. Javier, no square should ever talk mess. Okay?
That's a 4.
Y'all, we barely beat them. The key word is you lost. Regardless if we barely won, you lost. Only losers talk like that. And the second thing I want to say is that the Sacramento Kings are what the Raiders are to the Niners. Second place, little baby brothers. Don't ever get it twisted, Javier. Stay in your lane. Bye.
Thanks,
hey, Robin. Spadoni's here. He's not off yet. Yeah.
He's still in the back.
Yeah.
First Super Bowl in the Bay was?
Look at Spadoni.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were a Bay guy, Steiny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tease the next guest, so I was preoccupied.
We have 2.
And I heard some trash talking starting, and I kind of
the 81 Raiders, Spadoni.
And 76.
I'm not a big,
And 76.
People can trash talk if they want about each team. But
what about those guys?
Damian Barling, host of D-Lo and KC on ESPN 1320. He's joining us at 11:30, and then Mitch Richmond,
the Hall of Famer,
6-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA team member, NBA champion,
and he's been on their post game doing the stuff with the team.
Let's put Hall of Famer on there.
HOF,
and he's a Hall of Famer. Yep. Mitch Richmond.
Well, I thought you'd take care of that.
The Rock.
By the way,
oh boy,
you guys know how many All-Star games he made for the Golden State Warriors?
I do.
I know where you're going. I'm going Warren Moon. I'm saying 1.
0.
All with the Kings.
Wow. Ron TMC gets no respect.
City Boy.
Our guy.
City Boy says he's a little bit nervous. What's up, City? How you doing, man?
What's up, fellas? What's up? Man, y'all are pretty hard on Steph Curry, grading him at a B- and a B. This dude is 36 years old, And without him, we're the fifth pick in the draft. What did he average? 27, 5, and 5. I mean,
but we got to grade your answers on the test, Julian. I get what you're saying, but since the All-Star break, it ain't been that great.
Well, then I would say, Then I would say, so your best player has an A, but you're still a 10th seed. So now where are we at? So your best players,
with Luka for years.
But I'm just saying, your best players an A, and you're giving high Bs to everybody else.
But I'm not giving high Bs to everybody else. For me, Draymond Green is an F. He's an F plus.
You sound like my buddy Squirt. Wow.
I mean, my first question to you, City Boy, is like, do you feel like this team it's been a disappointing regular season?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was actually impressed because I'll tell you what, Steve Kerr did a great job of coaching up the young players because, in my opinion, the Warriors have the most difficult system in the league, especially for young players to acclimate to. So I think that his job was much more difficult because of that. Also, this team goes about 10, 11 deep, so he was juggling players, trying to mix and match, find rotations. He had a hard job this year, and at the end of the year, he kind of had it clicking. I mean, I'll tell you what, the Warriors have been a really good team for a couple of months now, and, I personally think it was a good season. We're 10 games over 500. The 10 seed is one thing. If we want to just say they're a 10 seed, okay. But they were 10 games over 500, and while they were fairly healthy, they had a lot of challenges this year. Number one being Draymond's suspension time, 25 games from – the heart and soul of our defense. And the guy who really sets the table on offense is being the trigger man, right? So I mean, it was, I think 10 games over is a pretty good accomplishment overall. It's unfortunate that 10 games over only gets you the 10 seed this year. The West is tough. It's a gauntlet. And can I tell you why I'm nervous tonight? Because I am a little bit. The Warriors' Achilles heel this year has been 3-point defense. And the Kings' number one attribute is their 3-point shooting, right?
Attempts.
They fill it up from 3. So I really want to see our perimeter defenders stay home. Don't sag. Don't get in between helping and staying with your man. Stay out on the perimeter. Yeah. Stick like glue to Keegan Murray and Ellis and these dudes who don't get guarded that closely. We got to stay out there because if they start hitting threes like New Orleans did on Saturday, we're going to be in big trouble. So, I mean, I'd stay at home on the 3-ball. I'd try and make Sabonis beat me, which he won't. And, you figure Fox is going to get his because he's a tremendous player, So,
City Boy, let me leave you with this.
Yeah.
Because you got me feeling some type of way, and I'm with you on the 3-point defense. I had Murray as he scares me for the Warriors. But Draymond on the court is not an F because my buddy Squirt just texted me. He's giving him an F, a D, and you gave Draymond an A, but I gave him the B for the play on the court, right? Because we can't front on that. All right.
His play's been very good. And Clay's been interesting because I'd say Clay's been an F for 25 games. He's been an A for 25 games, and he's been between a B and a C for 25 games. So he's been all over the place, man. Like I like giving him a B overall for the whole season, but when Clay's bad, man, he is bad. So I mean, it's hard to grade Clay because it's kind of been all or nothing with him. I will say his defense improved as the season went on, and that was really important for me because his biggest strength was being a great shooter and a great defender and taking some of the pressure off Steph. And once he couldn't defend, it really limited his effectiveness and his ability to help his team. So as long as he defends and I don't want to see him holding up 4 fingers and shouting it at people, like, just get in your bag, Clay, hit them threes and defend, man.
Because he got into it with C.J. McCollum. Steiny pointed that out. I had to go rewatch it. That happened. Yeah.
Appreciate the call, City. Appreciate the call.
I don't know how you caught that, Steiny. I didn't. In real time, Clay and CJ.
Yeah, I mean,
I was in the arena.
Maybe got him wound up.
I should have saw it, but man.
Steiny, can you explain to me why they're always sagging off the double team? Sometimes they overhelp the Warriors. I mean, like, I look at this game tonight, and it's like, okay, can De'Aaron Fox beat him? And I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. I think they can turn Fox into a little bit of a volume guy if Wiggins is on his game. All right, if you can do that, can you place a bonus pretty much straight up?
I believe
if you can place a bonus straight up. Now you leave Murray and Barnes on the wings, but you don't really have to leave them if Wiggins can do his job. And those two guys, to me, it's going to be a matter of how many of their threes are open and how many of them are contested.
How familiar are you with Keon Ellis? Kind of reminds me of Bobby Jackson.
Been watching him a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a second-year player.
Mm-hmm. He's filling in for Herter.
I mean, he's not Malik Monk. But I know that.
Their defense has improved since those two guys have left the team. But now it's about, can you take what you think you gained in that traction defensively in tonight's game to stop this, the big three?
Let's go to JL.